Hi YouTube, welcome back to another video. Welcome if you are new. If you saw on my social media posts, which are always linked down below, I posted a picture about answering some of your guys' questions. So this is the video, I'm finally making it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the questions and we're gonna get to answering them. So let's get started. I think I'm gonna start with Facebook first. Hi Vin, are you safe from the wildfires? If you guys don't know, I live in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm in like the center of the United States of America. And we are nowhere near California, and yes, we are safe. I am praying for those who have been affected by the California fires. So if you are a viewer and you are in California, I am praying for you, and I just hope that you guys are able to rebuild your lives and not focus on what you've lost, but focus on how you can grow. Now we are gonna go to Instagram, which I got a lot of questions on Instagram. What is something that you do now that you didn't used to do that has made your life better? I don't invest in toxic relationships anymore. That's one thing that I do that is different. I did have friends that were extremely toxic for me, and I just kind of stuck around, you know, because I wanted a friend, and you know, it was a reason to get out of the house. You know, hey, I'm gonna go see my friend, but you know, I don't invest in toxic relationships anymore. And another thing is I try not to focus on the past and just ruminate on that. It's a recipe for disaster. You know, if you're stuck in the past or you're stuck in these traumatic memories, yes, that happened, and yes, it has shaped who you are, but don't let it define you. You are your own person. You know, if you want to remain in the past and live in the past and just be miserable, it's just not healthy. It's not safe. But that's another thing, is I don't ruminate on the past. I acknowledge the past and what has happened to me, as should you, but it's like you shouldn't focus your life on what has happened to you in the past. You should focus on where you are now. Be present in today and how you can make your life better. And then another question is, if you could live in any state, where would you live? I know who posted this question. I've always wanted to live in Utah. I think Utah is a really, really beautiful state. The mountains, the weather, all year round, the snow, you know, you actually get winters there. And the summers are beautiful, not too hot. The mountains, the hills, the valleys, the sunrises, the sunsets. Oh, I follow some of my influencers who live in Utah, and just seeing their videos, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to live there. But yeah, I've always wanted to live in Utah, somewhere like outside of like Salt Lake, like in the county area. Would you ever try skiing? My best friend, Jessa J, commented that question. She is in Montana now, and we are talking about me possibly coming up there and spending a couple days with her, and she really wants me to try skiing, and I'm like, I would love to try skiing. I know I would fail at it and probably end up breaking something, but I would love to try skiing. So yes, I will try skiing. Now we are going to go to YouTube. One of the question is, do you have family history of depression that you know of? And yes, I do. If you guys don't know, I am adopted. I was adopted at 3 years old from a country called Romania. It's over in Europe. I didn't know anything about my birth family growing up. I mean, I knew I was adopted from a very young age, and I would always brag to people, you know, I was born and adopted. I would do that all the time as a kid. When I finally reconnected with my biological family, you know, 20 years later, I found out some things, you know, that mental health does run in my biological family as well as addiction. It gets kind of iffy as to what I'm possibly predisposed to. I did get mental health, but luckily I've been very blessed not to suffer with too much addiction. Not like anything horrible, but you know, I do have a very addictive personality. Like if I find something that I love, I will binge on it, whether it's food, whether it's music, whether it's obsessive thoughts. You know, I get my addictive personality from my birth father. He struggled with alcoholism and he ended up passing away. And then as far as my birth mom, she does suffer with depression and heart issues. So it's kind of difficult to get a pinpoint as to what my father was diagnosed with and to what my mother was diagnosed with. I don't have those diagnoses of my birth parents, but I do know that mental health and addiction run in my birth family. So I am predisposed to that, and I have already been through the ringer with a few things. I don't blame it on my birth family. I blame it on like the situations that I was put in, you know, as a child. The first few years of a child's life is so crucial. Like, it is the developmental phase of a child's life, is ages 0 to 5 years old. Like, those are the key years to develop a child's brain, to have them realize who they are as a person. Like, you know, I am me, I am special, I am loved. You know, it's like I didn't get much of that the first few years of my life. I was in an orphanage where I was malnourished and abused and neglected. The view that I had towards myself was like, I'm not loved, I'm not worthy, I'm gonna be alone. You know, it's like having that mindset as a child just really made it difficult to get through childhood. And my adopted brother, he's also from Romania. We suffer with the idea of love and the actions of love. I'm afraid to lose the love that I have shown to me. My brother, he's afraid to accept the love that is given to him. We have a lot of trust issues and attachment issues. Like, my brother, he never gets close to anyone, and for me, I'm too close to people because I'm afraid to lose the love that I receive, and my brother is afraid to accept the love that he receives. Being adopted and being put into that situation as a child really hurts the child. The first 3 years of our lives, you know, we weren't told, you know, I love you, you're safe, you are wanted. You have so many people out there who care for you and who want to support you and hug you and kiss you, and, you know, we didn't have that. That just really damaged us. That's kind of a long little rant, I'm sorry. Do you know anything about your birth parents? I do. My birth father is now deceased. I did get to meet him in 2018, and that was the last time I saw him. And then as far as my birth mom, she's about the same age as my adopted mom. She's very small. She's very short, and I look nothing like her. I look more like my birth dad. I'll put up a picture of me and my birth parents. I look more like my birth dad. Like, I've got like the bigger nose, the wider face. Do you have any memories of life in Romania, and would you ever go back there? I have gone back to Romania twice. I went in 2016 with my adopted mom. And I vlogged that. It's on my YouTube channel. If you just go to my playlist, just type in May 2016, and then I went again in May 2018. I don't really have many memories as a child there, just because I was kept in an orphanage and we weren't allowed outside. You know, we had socialization, you know, with the other orphans, but it's like we never really got to get out much, or, you know, we weren't really provided for very well. You know, like I said, I was malnourished, I was underweight, I was a little cross-eyed because of malnutrition, and I was just very unsure of the world, just put into a very bad situation. I mean, they kept me alive, that's all that matters, but it's like a child should never have to go through that. A child should always know that they are loved and that they are wanted and that they should feel safe to be loved. And then another question is, how do you feel since you stopped taking your medicine? Now, if you guys haven't seen my recap of 2024 video, it's a couple videos ago, I had disclosed that I had stopped taking my medication. Yes, I am about 9 weeks sober of my medication. I stopped taking my prescription mental health medication in the middle of November, and I had told my psychiatrist, I'm like, hey, you know, I don't believe that the medication I'm taking is helping me. I do not believe I have a chemical imbalance. I believe that I have trauma-induced depression, that the medication wasn't affecting me in any way, shape, or form because there's no chemical imbalance. So I stopped taking my medication in November. It is now the middle of January. I am still doing extremely well. I've lost a lot of weight since getting off my medication. I'm just a lot more clear-minded. I'm a lot faster of a talker. You know, my eyes aren't so droopy because of all the medications that I was on. You know, I'm just a lot more, I'm more alive since getting off my medication. You know, the medication was making me depressed. The medication was making me lethargic. The medication was making me gain weight. And it just was hurting me more than helping me. So that's why I decided to get off my medication. And since doing that, I am doing so much better. You know, I just feel lighter and more free and just a lot more clear-headed. And it's been a great change. And then the next question is, what are your goals, hopes, and dreams? Well, my goals are to live on my own, not own a house yet because I'm only 29 years old, but I do hope to move out of my parents' house and be independent and self-sufficient on my own. I am getting there. I'm working on it day by day. And, you know, I'm not going to be on my own, you know, being successful in life, you know, overnight. You know, I'm going to have to work at it. My hopes is that one day I will be free of depression. Now, I am doing better. I still have those little intrusive thoughts that like to poke in my head, like, hey, you know, you're not loved. I'm like, no, yes, I am loved. Get away from me. You know, it's like I'm constantly having to, you know, shut down my intrusive thoughts. So, you know, it's still a lot of work. My dream is to have 4 kids, be a full-time YouTuber and mom, married to the love of my life, have a nice car, and have a dog, and, you know, just live happily. You know, that is my dream. Again, I'm only 29 years old, you know. It's not gonna happen tomorrow or next year, but, you know, if I'm 80 years old and I marry the love of my life, you know, it's like, I'm gonna be happy. Yeah, I didn't get any comments on TikTok, which TikTok is banning in 2 days. And I didn't get any on Snapchat. Now, there are a few questions that I'm gonna think of in my head that you guys might be thinking of and just haven't had a chance to comment or respond to my social media posts. But one of the questions is, what is your name? My name is Lavinia. How old are you? I am 29 years old. Are you still in college? I have withdrawn from college. I am no longer in school. Are you an Android user or an Apple user? I am Apple 100%. I've always had Apple products ever since I got my first technology item. What year did you graduate high school? I graduated with the class of 2015. Are you an only child? I am not an only child. I have a brother who was also adopted from Romania. How long have you been on YouTube? I've been on YouTube for over 10 years. This is how many subscribers I have live right now. But my feet are falling asleep. I've been doing this a long time, but what kind of car do you have? I have a 2015 gold or tan, beige, whatever you want to call it, Nissan Altima. What is your phone number? I am not giving that to you. Another question is, what inspired you to start social media? You know, that really started when I was like 8 years old, but I didn't start YouTube until I was 19 years old. And I'm 29 now, so I've been doing it for a little over 10 years. I'm gonna go ahead and close out this updated Q&A all about me. If you have any other questions, you can comment them down below and I will gladly respond. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so much for being a part of my family and being a part of my life and being a part of my little community here on social media. So I love you guys super so much and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.